Good evening folks, Silver here. Today's story follows the results of an interesting DS download play option. What does it do though? Let's find out. Also, before we begin, only a small percentage of you that listen to these stories are actually subscribed. So, if you end up enjoying this narration, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. With that, enjoy the story. My name is William. I love Pokemon Platinum, and it's the only Pokemon game I own at the moment, and it's fun as hell. I've grown quite attached to my trusty Pokemon party, consisting of an Empoleon, Empress, a Staraptor, Starbolt, a Porygon, Seizure, a Ponyta, Cherry, a Lucario, Kami, and a Giratina called Killer. In my spare time, I draw a series of parody comics called Pokemen, about me and my Pokemon roaming idly around Sinnoh after finishing the game. I was only 13 at the time. I was playing DS download play on the bus with my friends on our way back from an overnight field trip. My Pokemon Platinum card was inserted, but I was going to download play Mario Kart with my friend Steve. The option for Mario Kart appeared in the download menu, but before I could select it, I looked out of the window of the coach bus and saw a hearse driving by, followed by a line of cars. When I looked back to my game, an option labelled My Sweet Empress had appeared in the roster. The description simply said, "I'm sorry." I downloaded out of curiosity and my DS shut off. My first reaction was one of confusion. So, I turned the game back on and saw that the menu icon for Pokemon Platinum was replaced with a grayed out illustration of an Empoleon. It was wincing, as if in pain. I selected it and was met with a black screen filled with code and Japanese text, as well as garbled glitchy music, sounding vaguely like distorted bagpipes. I then put the game in my bag and proceeded to explain the situation to my friends. A few days later, I decided to investigate further. I turned on the DS and selected Pokemon Platinum, and what I saw truly surprised me. The game started up and the usual intro played, though I couldn't skip it. During the intro, however, the boy trainer sprite was replaced with an anime version of how I draw myself in Pokemon. Wearing a brown cap with the Pokeball symbol, a light blue shirt, sandals, a crest with the word Will inside of a burst symbol, everything was recreated perfectly. At this point, I didn't know what to think, so I selected my save file. When I loaded my game up, I was surprised to find myself sitting in my bed at home in Twinleaf Town. My sprite was a small version of the Pokemon sprite from earlier. I walked downstairs to find that nobody was home. Upon stepping out the door, I was immediately greeted by Phil, my rival who I'd named after a friend. "Oh man, this isn't good," he yelled. "William, I've been searching all over for you. Apparently something really bad is happening over at Rowan's lab. Come on!" Out of curiosity, I ran to Sandgem Town, with Phil's sprite trailing behind me. I ran from any random encounters I came across. Upon arriving in Sandgem Town, we entered the lab. I really shouldn't have entered that lab. An autopilot cutscene followed. Professor Rowan was standing facing Dawn and her father. A dead Piplup lay on the operating table. Dawn shrieked, "No, Piplup! How could you, Rowan?" I'm so sorry, Dawn," said the professor. "I had no idea your Piplup was so vulnerable to the tests I was running." Dawn's father chimed in. "Your intentions don't matter. This is criminal negligence. We will settle this in court." "No!" yelled Dawn. "We will get the justice we deserve." At this point, I was on the verge of tears. I don't usually cry over movies or fictional situations. I've played through Mother 3 without shedding a single tear. But here, there was something outside the game that I couldn't explain affecting me. Phil piped up, "Don't worry, Professor, we're coming to save you." Our two trainer sprites ran up to Rowan, and a battle sequence began. The battle commenced, and it was me, Phil, and Rowan versus Dawn and Dawn's father. A 32-bit MIDI of the Chozo Ghost battle theme from Metroid Prime was playing in the background. I sent out Empress as usual. Phil sent out his level 100 Torterra, and Professor Rowan sent out a level 100 Infernape. Dawn and her father didn't have any Pokemon on them. However, Dawn had a steak knife, and Dawn's father had a scalpel. Infernape used Flamethrower on Dawn's father, who yelled, "Curse you, Rowan!" and fled the battle. Dawn put up quite a fight, and by the end, the HP of all three Pokemon were in the red zone. Upon defeating Dawn, a scream sound effect was heard. wheezed Dawn. William. Phil. I thought you were my friends. Why are you defending him? A microphone prompt then appeared. I spoke into my DS. You were acting out of revenge. And that intent, no matter how justified, offends me more than any number of dead Pokemon. I don't care what Rowan did to Piplup. All I care is that you tried to kill him out of vengeance. What? Screamed Dawn. You bastard! You're not even trying to understand my pain, are you? Empress, you used to be a Piplup too, right? For a horrifying 3 seconds, the background music shut off, and I was sitting in silence. Then, Dawn used Stab, and the screen flashed red for a split second, and the earthbound damage sound was played. Empress then let out a loud, long, distorted version of her normal Empoleon cry, as if she was screaming in pain. A status effect appeared over her health bar. It was labelled WND, likely short for wounded. Dawn then fled the battle. The battle exited, and I was met with me, Phil, and Rowan huddled around the bloodied Empress. Oh no, said Rowan. This is bad. These wounds are too severe for me to treat, and every nurse joined the region is away on a family vacation. She's going to die soon. I know, said Phil. Take her to the Pokemon Temple in Hearthome City. Arceus might be able to help her. I was given control of my character again, and a timer appeared at the top of the screen. I exited the lab, and the flood music from Pokemon Emerald started to play. I tried to fly to Hearthome using Starbolt, but a message just appeared saying, Starbolt refused to let you on his back. So, I had to go on foot. There were no random encounters or trainer battles, so somehow, I managed to beat the clock to Hearthome. I entered the church and talked to the preacher. Can I help you? He said. What? Your Pokemon is dying? You must have the wrong idea. I'm a preacher, not a doctor. I'm afraid there is nothing I can do. The screen then faded to black, and the game saved automatically. When the game resumed, I was in my house again, but with no background music. I checked my Pokemon roster, and sure enough, Empress was missing. I walked downstairs and talked to my mum. I'm so sorry about what happened, honey, she said. If it makes you feel any better, I heard Phil call you another Piplup. I wandered outside and walked up to the pond of water at the back of Twinleaf Town. I pressed A in front of it, and a message appeared saying, The water is a deep blue colour. You surf for the last time? I selected yes, and my character jumped into the pond, and as soon as my sprite touched the water, a splash was heard, and the screen turned monochrome and froze. The Mother 3 love theme started up, and the game just sat there, frozen. I turned off the DS and restarted it. Everything was absolutely normal. The game had reverted to how it was before I downloaded that weird patch. The only thing that had changed now was that, whether or not I have Pokemon Platinum inserted, it always plays the Mother 3 love theme on my DS menu. To this day, I never figured out what that weird download option was, or how it appeared.